Hey YouTube, this is Brian. This is the second video in the Python for Data Science series. Today we're going to be walking through how to set up and manage Conda environments. Before we get too far, let's recap what we did last video. We installed the Anaconda distribution, which was very easy. It's part of the reason I like it. It's essentially a one-click step. And maybe you also installed a couple of other things that were optional items from the last video. Hopefully you've tested out your Python installation and everything's working fine. If so, we can go ahead and move forward. Let's spend just a couple minutes talking about what environments are. If you've been doing programming or data science for a while, you probably have already used environments, or at least have an understanding of what they are. So this is for the people who are new to environments. An environment is essentially a static, isolated workspace with a set list of modules and software installed. What that means is you set up your Python installation, you install some modules, and then you pretty much leave it as it is until you are sure that you want to upgrade something and you're sure that that upgrade isn't going to break something. If you think about how you might do this normally, if you're not too concerned about reproducibility, if you're not too concerned about breaking stuff, maybe you've got your Python installation and every once in a while you go through and upgrade all the packages just to make sure that you're working with current, recent software. Well, in an environment, you're very unlikely to do that. And in fact, the reason to have an environment is so that you know exactly what versions of modules you have in your environment at any given time. And therefore, you can write code that's stable and reproducible. So that's what an environment is. But why do we need that? Why do we care? Well, as I just alluded to, one thing that knowing what all of our packages are lets us do is write code that we know is going to work with those packages, so it's stable. It's reproducible because, again, we know what those packages are and we know how they behave. Now, one thing that I haven't mentioned yet is that code is also shareable, and that's because most package managers let you produce a list of the software that's installed, of the packages that are installed, and send that to someone else. And using the package manager on their end, they can easily, within a command or two, get that environment set up on their end so that they can also easily reproduce your work based on their environment. So that's what environments are and why we like to use them. So let's dig in and actually start doing something with them. One thing I really like about Anaconda, outside of the ease of installation, is how nice and simple their environment manager is. When you want to create an environment, it's exactly what you would expect. You say Conda, create, name, and then give it the name of the environment that you want to create. So, for lack of anything else, let's call this Monkey Town. Monkey Town sounds like a fun place, an environment I'd like to go to. And it's going to take a few minutes. It's going to pull down a basic list of packages. And then once that's done, we'll be able to see that our environment has been created. Alright, and now we're going to click yes to proceed. It tells us that it's going to create the environment. Alright, looks like everything worked. So let's check and see if we've got a new environment. By default, Conda has one environment, that's in the root. And so now we're going to see Conda tell us the other environments that we have now. Conda info envs is one way to get this information. And we can see there that we have a root environment, and now we have our Monkey Town environment. Now if we want to we're not actually using the Monkey Town environment right now. If we want to switch to that environment, as you can see up here, it tells us how to do that. We're just going to go source, activate, Monkey Town. Let me take you to Monkey Town. And if you have a computer that is not from the 1990s, yours will go faster. But here we are. We have activated Monkey Town, and we can see that because over here we have the name of our environment. And we can start up Python. There we go. And we can see that we've got Python 3, Anaconda branded, and running. We can also do our Conda info ims, get our list of environments, and you can see that there's a little asterisk beside the current environment. So one other way to tell exactly what environment you're working in. Okay, so now we've got our Monkey Town environment started up. And again, the whole point of having multiple environments is that you can have different sets of modules installed in each environment, and you don't have to worry about them conflicting, and you don't have to worry about them being upgraded willy-nilly. So let's say that we want to create another environment to work with, and let's make this one Python 2 based. This is one of the really great things about Conda environments and about environment management in general, is that you can set up systems with completely different versions of Python. So our initial Monkey Town environment was Python 3 based, and so we're going to create another one. Conda create name called Monkeyville, and we're going to add the Python option. Let's just set the version of Python, and we say let's make it Python 2. So we're going to see the same bit of package fetching. We'll give it a little bit of time here to do its thing. Okay, and now we have our Monkeyville environment. Let's switch to it. Source, activate Monkeyville. And once that starts up, we'll see that it is active with Monkeyville. And we will do a quick Python command to see what we get. And there you can see that we've got Python 2.7 running in this environment. Quit. And we'll do Conda info ims. And there you go. You can see that we've got our Monkey Town still. We've got Monkeyville, which is the current active environment. And we've got our original root. Okay, so we've created and we've listed and we've activated and deactivated environments. One other thing we might want to do is clone. Go over that quickly. Want to clone? Let's say we want to do Conda. Let's say we've found our Monkeyville Python 2 environment to be very helpful, and we want to clone it and then possibly upgrade our pandas version, or maybe downgrade it to something that we need for a specific module. We'll say Conda create name. We will create a new environment name. Hey, why don't we keep with the theme here, Monkey City, and then we will use that to clone our Monkeyville environment. And once more, we can list our environments. And there we go. We've now got Monkey City. Okay, so we've decided that we really don't need that extra Monkey City after all. Let's go ahead and get rid of it. And this is the one thing remaining that we haven't shown yet. Simple, as you would expect. Conda remove name Monkey City, and all to get rid of everything. We'll be prompted whether we want to really do that. We say yes, and it's gone, as we can verify with Conda info ims. There you go. Okay, so those are the main commands that you're going to want to use with your Conda environments, but there are obviously some more details to what you can do with it. And if you want to get into sharing with collaborators, for example, there are other things that will be useful. And so I'm just going to point you to the help for managing Conda environments listed there at that link, and it will cover the things that we've already done, and it will go into more detail about how you share your environments and save the details of them. Alright, so I think that you will find this useful. I suggest that you start using environments now. They're really handy and will save you trouble in the future. And if you get into the habit of doing it now, it's going to serve you well later, and you won't find it very difficult at all. It'll become second nature. Alright, so that wraps it up for this video. What we're going to talk about in the next video is Jupyter Notebooks. Jupyter Notebooks is one of the most popular IDEs for Python, especially when it comes to data science. It is not very much at all like RStudio. So if you're familiar with RStudio, you'll be learning a lot in this, and you'll be seeing how Python handles the IDE situation. We may touch briefly on a couple of other IDE options, but we will focus mostly on Jupyter Notebooks and how to get the most out of them. So until then, have a great morning or night or evening, whatever it is in your part of the world, and I'll talk to you next time.